Welcome to the Stargate Finance Community Call, where we discuss proposals and ideas that will help shape and govern the Stargate protocol. Feel free to join the conversation on stage anytime you have a question by clicking the raise hand button at the bottom of the screen. You can also chime in through the voice text channel in Discord or any of the chats for those listening live in YouTube and Twitch. As the channels, I'll aggregate your messages together. Just a reminder, this is not financial, accounting, or legal advice. Please do your own research. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. We've got a full house, over 300 people here today. That's wonderful to see. We've got a few things here for you. So just a few kind of like little updates here and recaps. Some of you may have noticed that the USDD pools are live. They're just awaiting the USDD deposits as... that'll come from the team, from the USDD team. They'll be supplying that as it was an APD, so an autonomous pool deployment where users are able to, anyone can actually deposit into there. Those pools will not be incentivized. They are not matched to other pools, so they are kind of their own pool. Therefore, not taking on the risk of other, just in case like going across from between Tether and USDC. This way here, it's on its own thing. So that proposal had passed a while ago. Got those up and going. So you'll be able to use that going back to and from mainnet to BNB chain. Once those pools are live, there'll be a lot more availability to do that. And then moving on from that front there with other pools, the DAI, Frax, SUSD, and LUSD pools. Those are the contracts are ready for deployment very soon. So you can expect that. I would think sometime next week. Those should be ready to rock and roll. So if you've got any of those assets and you're looking to either contribute or get across the networks, you'll be able to do that directly with those assets right away. So that was another proposal that had come in. Those pools will be incentivized and had gone through governance to do that. So there will be some incentives emissions on that. Not 100% on what that's going to look like right now. Obviously, that's only the analytics folks for that. But looking forward to those pools being up. Those are, just having more utility within Stargate and people coming and be able to use these assets that they care about more, especially on the stable front. Really looking forward to seeing what kind of volume that can drive and just that option and availability for people. That's, this is having as many assets as possible going across Stargate is, I think is going to be great, and looking forward to this. I guess maybe now as Maki, if you don't mind here, let's talk a little bit about, obviously that is kind of jumping ahead here with a past proposal that had passed with, optimizing the Ethereum and the Optimism protocol on liquidity. We've now moved some of the Ethereum, the mainnet liquidity as well to Balancer. Can you just kind of tell us a little bit about that and how that what that unlocks for Stargate?
Yeah. So the migration for Optimism has been basically finished. We also have completed on mainnet the migration of the POL. Basically the Balancer pool is set at 1% trading fee. That means an increase in 3x basically compared to the previous one. We also have a yield generating asset now, meaning that basically this is earning fees. All the fees, half of the trading fees that is supposed to go to Balancer DAO itself, is actually being directed back into bribes for incentives. Meaning that basically we're going to be earning a BAL token without any kind of action on our end, which is massive for us, meaning we don't need to pay for any single bribes or else. In the very beginning, it might make sense to actually boost this a little bit, similar to how we did with Curve. But this is a kind of played by ear, kind of see how much we're gonna get from just the actual trading from now, and just adjust in consequence. To give you an idea for everyone, the Curve side of things, we are right now at the moment generating around 2,000 USD per day which is, like as much as how much the protocol is generating at the moment, which is very positive. But like we are actually moving this to a Frax BP, which is even better because Frax is also going to be redirecting basically like a portion of their CVX voting power towards us. So we're going to be going from 2,000 to 4,000 per day in emission, which is massive. It's basically like doubling our rate of earning. So yeah, like just fantastic news in general on the side of bribing. We haven't been bribing for the past 2 cycles, which basically is a saving on Stargate. And yeah, like we are also waiting on Yearn to potentially complete like their YCRV kind of update with like basically like the locked version, meaning that we will be able to direct all of the Yearn CRV that we own towards like the pool over choice. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
cool.
that's overall like we're gonna be able to accumulate Aura and Bao, and then basically lock them up and keep on this kind of virtuous cycle, but on Balancer in addition to Curve.
Yeah, awesome.
So good news in general.
Yeah, it's great to hear like the revenue that's being generated from from that alone is pretty impressive. So that's really cool. And then yeah, just like continuing to either add that to adding that towards the protocol and how that can work is fantastic. So multiple ways to continue growing the protocol. So that's awesome that this is happening. And I know you're on the forefront of a lot of this stuff. So it's great to have you involved with this. So.
Yeah. And by the way, like on Optimism, it's the same deal with Beethoven X. Just to make sure everyone understand, like yield generating asset position also on Beethoven X. So that's super helpful. And basically, Arrakis is the other kind of pair, I guess, on Optimism. So,
yeah, and with that, with the tighter range there, like with that proposal that it passed,
exactly.
yeah, hopefully that'll be generating even more fees and whatnot for the protocol and just far more capital efficiency for users within those pools. So that's that's super sick over on Optimism. So I haven't looked at the metrics of what's going on there in that pool and how it's working, but I mean, even looking at it before, like just like the amount of revenue that had been generated just from that pool alone, even with like an infinite range on it. It was, there was already like, 5 figures worth of income in there. So, or revenue rather. So yeah, curious to see how that'll all play out here into the future. And especially as like Optimism continues to grow and, more and more people interested in it. Cool. Well, thank you for that update on all that. Another one that maybe some of you have noticed, there's a dashboard up on Token Terminal as well. That's also live. So if you're looking for more metrics, it's great to see that there's more and more places for you to, depending on where you're using, but be able to see a little bit more metrics on, on Stargate. So speaking of which here for, looking back at, if we look at the monthly transactions and monthly volume, so October, we had a really, really impressive month with, over 130,000 transactions coming across Stargate as a basically the highest by, almost double from September, which was our highest month. And October having a monthly, the volume across the month was 704 million. Yeah, 704 million. Wow. Yeah, that's so making that the second best month or second largest month. May being the other one, which was 828 million, had gone across, almost 829. We're really seeing volume pick back up here, which is awesome because obviously more fees for the protocol, more fees for back to stakers and everything. So really trending in the right direction here. We saw an uptick in September, from August, and October is just now to be second highest month. Really excited to see what's going to happen in November, especially bringing in more pools, having more assets available. That's really, really stoked to see this. So, Before we dive into proposals and things here, I know we want to get in with, we've got a couple things to discuss. Primo, have you got anything for us?
Yep. Yeah, a bunch of things. So obviously, yeah, month was pretty freaking awesome. I saw, top 10 pools in Balancer, which is fantastic. Volume was incredible with the recent volume, of the past week being 2.5x what the second largest bridge is, and 35x what the 10th largest bridge is. And many of
Damn.
these bridges are like the actual canonical bridges to the network. So like the Arbitrum bridge, the Polygon bridge, right? So to be so many more than anybody else is like really, really sick. And obviously the dollar volume, right? Not just the transaction volume, but the actual dollar volume was really, really high as well. So that was super cool. I think the biggest thing is I know I've kind of alluded to this at a bunch of last community calls, but finally over the finish line. So we officially hired we're calling a head of special projects who's specifically going to be helping out the Stargate DAO on everything moving forward. I will let them introduce themselves. They haven't made it in yet, so they'll be on the next community call, and I'll let them introduce themselves. But this person, I can confidently say, is probably the most obsessive person about Stargate that I've ever met. I think we've talked back and forth for no less than 8 hours a day, but oftentimes like 16 hours a day about Stargate. Has used the protocol as deeply as anybody can possibly use it. Like, definitely has very, very, very deep knowledge in how the protocol functions, how it ties into the overall system. Has a pretty amazing, some of the most creative and interesting ideas I've seen in a while for how to move the protocol forward, get to the kind of primary goals of 500 million in protocol liquidity, kind of zero emissions or sort of positive revenue generation. And so I'm super, super, super excited. I guess this is kind of all I'll say for now. I'll let him introduce himself and his ideas and everything else at the next community call. But very, very pumped to have him coming on board, and it will be really good. I think for everything, and just generally getting close coordination with the DAO and just getting things moved forward on the development side of things at a really constant cadence. Super excited about that. I would say that is outside of the volume and everything else is great, but I think this is definitely the bigger news, and I can't wait until he gets in the office and starts going and starts to communicate on the next call. And I think over the next month or two, we're going to see some pretty awesome stuff roll out quickly.
Yeah, really excited to have have them come in here and like be able to help this help the protocol in like so many different ways, and especially somebody who's been has the knowledge and has like not only knowledge but actually experience and has used it and understands the protocol, understands the how it's all running, and has been a power user. So that's like super sick to have these that involved. And really hopefully next community call we'll have have them on and explain further with it. But exciting stuff here. Exciting stuff. Okay. So I think we got who here is from my team, Ariaki Dao. Let's see. I'm Knight 47. I see a few hands up here. Let's see. If you can hear in the AMA text or the voice text questions here, can't remember who is I thought Benjamin was coming in here. Just from Chidao. Can let us know who is. Want to get you up here so we can talk about this proposal. Let's see. Is it Knight? I'm going to bring you up and
This one right here.
Oh, just tequila. Yep, my bad here.
Yeah.
There we are. Just tequila or just tequila? Hey, there you are. You're a little quiet, so if you can boost up your audio a bit, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, no problem. Is that better?
Yeah, you bet. Who else do we need to bring up?
I think it's just me for
Okay.
now.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, well, thank you for coming on.
It's still very quiet on my end for what it's worth. So if you can, I don't know if it's me, but I think maybe in the audience, like boost it as loud as you can.
I will try my best.
Also, I'll boost you here on the Discord side so that it'll jump across here to into the recording as well, into the live stream. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for coming on here. Obviously, if anybody that hasn't seen it, there is a Commonwealth proposal for, put up by Qidao for adding my as an asset for APDs. And yeah, if you can just maybe give a little background to everybody here on my and Qidao and all of that, if you can.
Yeah, sure thing. So Qidao is a CDP stablecoin, so over collateralized stablecoin. We're on a bunch of different chains. You can mint. Basically, what we allow you to do is we allow you to take your crypto, use it as collateral, and mint stablecoins against it. That stablecoin is my. We have over 70 different collaterals that you can choose. My is always over collateralized, so it's not algorithmic or anything along those lines. You can mint my on 12 different chains. We're one of the most cross-chain assets already, because you can use my on over 20 different chains, using multi-chain, C-bridge, and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, that's a quick little intro into what Qidao is and kind of what my is.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and it's really cool that you guys are already on so many different networks to begin with, and like the liquidity I think you guys have is already pretty great. But yeah, having being able to like have native assets everywhere is going to be hopefully pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean that was a big thing for us. Is like when we first started, we started on Polygon, and then we looked at like Solana, about like hopping over to Solana and kind of doing some stuff over there, and we looked at Saber. And it was kind of disgusting to see how many different versions of USDC there were, and it kind of fragmented liquidity and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't want to kind of go around about that route, and so we made sure that any chain that we chose to go on, it was native assets for that chain.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic, and I know that's something that. Stargate has really focused on was being able to have that, but sweet. So basically, with the APD pools, autonomous pool deployment. In this case, you guys would have the liquidity and be able to provide that.
Correct.
Yeah. So you guys are able to deposit 1 million per. Or what's kind of your guys' strategy, or what are you hoping for?
Yeah. No, I mean, we'd be depositing 1 million MAI into each of these chains to allow people to kind of move across these chains seamlessly. We can keep refilling those chains if they kind of get depleted. So
perfect. So if you guys can monitor that as well, so you'd be able to do that, just kind of stay on top of it, so that. They should, hopefully they can just balance out, it should work out between everything. But that's awesome that you guys can do all that. I've posted the proposal in the voice text channel questions. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, go ahead. But of course, as you'd kind of mentioned here, you being on so many different networks, so now what you guys are looking to do here is deploying on Polygon, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Optimism, BNB, and Ethereum. So 6 networks that would be available. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, from what we've seen is like we have we also allow like interest bearing assets as collateral, and we don't charge interest for borrowing against them. And so we see a lot of people going to different chains minting my on those chains based off of, what those collaterals are, but wanting to take that my around, DeFi and kind of explore a little bit. So hopefully we can bump up that those very impressive volume numbers that you already have.
Yeah. No, that would be wicked. And, just having like another, essentially another stable as like a base pair asset to go between networks could be interesting. Even if, with, for example, with like Sushi X Swap, if they're having them in there as well, like perhaps that can help with some new routing and whatnot. If this was in, this being in Stargate, so, and any other further integration, be able to use that to get across. That could be pretty interesting as well. Like I say, with different routing and stuff like that, to just open more options and functionality.
Absolutely.
Cool. I don't know if anybody's got questions for QDAO or, around the MAI or anything like that. But this does seem like a, kind of a no-brainer, especially with AP or, ADPs or APDs, just to be able to do, any of these assets to come in makes a lot of sense, and it's only going to help the protocol. And like you were saying there, keep driving those numbers that are continuing to go up. So exactly. Really, really happy to see that. But okay. If there's no further questions on this, I mean, this can go up to snapshot right away. So anybody that does have VESTG will be able to vote on this. Make sure that you have your VESTG ready to go. And this will be up on snapshot. We'll get that ready for everyone so that they can, we'll alert everyone, and we can share that in your, I'll pass this along to you, and then you guys can share this in your community as well. But I think that's, if there's nothing further with it, I mean, put it up for a vote and let's see where it goes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate it.
You bet. All right. And then as far as speaking around VESTG, I know everyone's waiting for the dashboard and wants to be able to claim their rewards. I am pleased to say that there is significant traction around this. The contracts are essentially ready to go. There's just like a little bit more math or something that needs to come into play. But things are looking very positive, and we should be able to see this very soon. I know it was promised here for November, and it is happening. So I know everyone has been asking for it, and it will be ready very, very soon. Primo, I don't know if you've got any further updates around it, or can kind of talk more about where it's at.
Yep. Yeah. Finally. So I think basically there's a proposal up now in the forum. What needs to happen, all the base code is written. What needs to happen is the community needs to sign off on how it's being distributed. The basic distribution mechanism is this. Imagine that, there's 5 months of rewards, and we'll just say there's $100,000. So every month, effectively, there's going to be $20,000 distributed. Actually, even more granular, right? Imagine every hour, every second. There's, X distributed. So that's all pro rata linearly over the entire amount of time. And then over that time, the amount that you've staked divided by the total amount that is staked. And so, your effectively voting power or VE power. And so if in the beginning, let's say there's $1 per tick, let's just say. So in the first tick, there's only one person, they get the full dollar. On the second tick, now you are 50% of the pool, you get 50 cents. On the 100th tick, now there's a bunch of people, you're 2% of the pool, you're going to get 2% of the $1. So every tick is just allocated pro rata. Some people's expire. So later on, you might have been 2% before, now you're back up to 7% because you staked longer and they've expired, or you re-upped or whatever. But basically it's just linear distributed over the entire period of time, and it's your pro rata share over that period. So super straightforward. As soon as that's done, as soon as that has gone to snapshot and is voted, all the code is ready. The final code will be submitted to audit. Audit should be super fast because it's like very, very, very straightforward. and then it'll be distributed immediately after. So it'll go up on the front end. Everybody will be able to claim. So hopefully all of that happens ASAP. But on the technical side of things are basically there. So we just need to get it voted on and get the audit sign off.
Yeah, perfect. So, yeah, just everybody. I posted the link in the in the text channel there. If you can just have a look at that, make sure you have a look at this proposal. Once this goes up, this is gonna be another one that's gonna go up right away because obviously everyone's very excited about this. Just to like have this pushed through. If everyone's in agreement with how this can all play out, then this is going to be happening very, very soon. So I think the key points or the key takeaways here, of course, are, that where whatever network your asset or wherever you have staked, you'll have to claim from there. So just knowing that, and then being paid out in those assets as well. So, anybody with questions, comments, concerns on that? But yes, that's soon TM. It's coming. All right. If not, no big deal. Really excited to get this running and going, and just curious to see the price of an asset is variable. Will that be accounted for instance, ETH?
Of course. So everything, I believe in the proposal, the structure is everything will be converted to USDC. So basically, there's been a bunch of fees generated in the pool, right? Those fees are supposed to be distributed. The fees are generated in each native pair. So you have fees in USDT and USDC and BUSD and ETH and everything, right? So I believe what's going to happen is everything will get converted to USDC on 6 of the chains, and on the 7th chain, which is BNB chain, it will be converted to BUSD. And you will just claim wherever you've staked. So if you staked on Arbitrum, you'll claim USDC on Arbitrum. If you staked on Ethereum, you'll claim USDC on Ethereum. Mm-hmm. If you staked on BNB chain, you'll claim BUSD there. But naturally, the everything will go to DEXs. The ETH will get sold. The USDT will get sold. They'll all get converted to one asset, and then distribution will all happen in one asset. Rather than making people claim, especially if it's like smaller amounts, needing to claim 3 times for 3 different assets is a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, that'll be great that it's just one asset to claim. I think that's going to be fantastic. People getting paid out in stables, and keep it very simple for everyone. So there it is. Those are the 2 key things I think that people will really need to focus on. The network that you have staked on is the network that you will claim on, and depending on whether it's one of the 6, which is the highest TVL being USDC, or on Binance chain being BUSD. So there's there it is. Okay, all current value and converted to fine. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right. I hope that answered everything there for you, Ray J. And then passive, you're saying, so I'll get my share of the fees for the time I was locked in, or it's going to get implemented for new lockers. It's kind of mentioned there, the time window. So it's like the hour. So within a
from the moment you locked until I think the end of the month. I think it's from the moment you locked until the end of October.
Yes.
Is the period where every moment that you were staked in there, you'll have the pro rata share.
Yeah. And then I think it's also with like the fee interval being like 1 hour, or is that 3,600 seconds. So basically, if you've staked any time within that hour, that's when you would be that's when your staking will start from. So then you'll be incurring fees from at that point. So basically, it's within that hour from when you staked and then onward. So perfect. Anybody else with further questions on that? And again, yeah, the proposal is fairly detailed, has all of the breakdown in there. Yeah, if you can run through it. And yeah, this can go up to snapshot right away. Really excited to get this out here. This is something everybody's been asking for a long time, and it's yeah. I mean, everybody's rewards have been accruing, so nothing's been lost there. And yeah, here we go. Anybody else further questions on that? But if you...
By the way, I just want to say I'm about to tweet this out, but the community is just absolute savages, man. We've literally broken Gurley. The USDC testnet demo has done hundreds of thousands of transactions. There's currently a backlog of like 40,000 transactions that Gurley can't even mine. Like they only mined 10,000 overnight. We're currently like Gwei price on Gurley is getting expensive because of literally this demo. It is utter insanity.
Crazy. Yeah. So if anybody is doing, I know there's a lot of questions around like the, testnet, testing that out and whatnot and going between using that USDC bridge. Yeah, please just be patient with it. As Primo has mentioned here, it's been, there's been a lot of people testing it and using it. So yes, if you're like, oh wait, I thought I had enough Gorelli to make this happen, because of the demand and the backlog, you may need a little more Gorelli ETH to make it happen. And yeah, please just give it some time because there is a massive backlog on the network. It is a test net, so it's obviously not as not expecting as much demand and volume as mainnet. So just please be patient with it, and it will get there. All right. I don't know, anything further to add here, Maki, Primo, anybody else? I think this is we've covered a lot. There's some exciting stuff coming up here between new pools and everything. Obviously the dashboard coming live here right away, and yeah, and hopefully next community call we've got we've got another person that's going to be speaking up here as well. So yeah, a lot of great things coming on here with Stargate, and yeah, thank you everybody for being here. 810 people here today. That is absolutely impressive. So thank you all for coming out. Yeah, let's wrap it there. So if you have been watching over on YouTube at this time, thank you very much. And for those that are over in Twitter, appreciate you coming in as well. We do have, obviously this is being live streamed to YouTube, Twitch, is also over on Twitter Spaces, and here held in Discord. So thank you everybody for coming. And if you are looking for a POAP afterwards, I don't know if I have enough for everyone. I was not expecting to have 800 people in this call, but yeah, there will be a link that's sent. So you'll need to be connected to Guild. Make sure you've done that. If you have, you will probably need to have been connected to Guild before the link goes out, and then head over to POAP claim in the Discord, and you'll be able to claim your POAP from there. Yeah, please be patient, as I may need to get more, because clearly there was way too many people here. But that's a really great thing. Happy to see this growing. So much interest in Stargate, and yeah, thank you all so much. All right. Thanks, guys. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Take care.